Welcome back to Just Carve Rob. What are we carving today, Rob? We are carving the spy gnome. And this whole video will be then the dreaded voiceover. Oh, even the shop inspector's crying about it. So we're starting out with this hat. This is a piece of 1x1x4, 1 inch by 4 inches long, 1 inch square. And we're going to just go around and undercut this hat, start the nose process here. We're not going to put any eyes in this guy, so it's just going to be a hat and hair and a nose and a mustache and an arm. Yeah, I get a little carried away. I was going to try just making it a simple gnome, no eyes, gnome thing. And yeah, end up getting a little more complicated than that. I don't know why. I just can't control myself sometimes. Because I just get so excited. And I just can't hide it. I have to carve. I do. I get so excited. And I just can't hide it. I got to carve a gnome. And I think I like it. Oh, yeah. All right, so. The gnome. This nose will take on many renditions before we're done. This is where I was originally going. Just the nose, the big nose, no eyes. And as we carry on here, things will get a little more out of hand. But anyway, how you doing? Jordan Johnson over at Carving Fusion. Sean Brooks at Pen on the Fire. Woodsyke. Woodsyke's carving some pine knots. Check out Woodsyke. Amy Jo at Amy Jo. Aiden Fletcher. They're having a Valentine's Day carving challenge. And we have it from reliable sources. There will be a few prizes involved here. So make sure you go over and visit Amy Jo or Aiden Fletcher. They got all the rules and regulations, which I don't think there's that many. You just have to carve something in a medium of your choice. A lot of us are wood carvers, so we're choosing wood. Some people like to draw. Some people like to paint. That's all you got to do. Something for Valentine's Day. Cupid with a bow. Or a Cuban with a cigar. Cupid with a bow. Cupid with a cigar. Both great Valentine's Day gifts. Setting that beard in. You can see we took 0 off the wood. Now we're bringing the beard in there. We're working off that point with our little spy gnome here. We're going to put him in a spy coat. And so he's going to be a spy. We don't know what he's spying on. But he is a gnome. He is small. Maybe he's spying on the mices. Rolling the knife to scoop out from underneath that flip over on the hat. I think I should make my wizard hats fatter, or my gnome hats fatter, but I don't know. I'm just kind of digging this hillbilly style gnome hat thing going on here lately. So now I'm cutting the hair in, where his hair is going to hang out from underneath the back of his hat. So when I come around to the beard, I can just fade that head hair into beard hair. Right there, we'll just do that. He's got a big old hump on his back now. We're going to have to flatten that out. There's still lots of wood got to come off of this thing. I think this video ends up being 21 minutes long. It's 21 minutes of me blathering on. This will not be all done in one setting. I can guarantee you that. We're going to have to come back and on another day and finish the carving and finish the voiceover. Okay, so now we're putting putting in the mustache. I zoomed in a little bit for you. So basically, we're cutting in a cheek right there, but it's really just being cut in to make the mustache stick out further. And so I can dig the barrel of the mouth, the corner of the mouth in deeper. And I'm just walking around there with a knife and taking some wood out from underneath that mustache. And then as we go along here, I'll end up messing up the mustache. I'll have to make the mouth deeper in there. So we're going to end up giving it a slightly open mouth with a lower lip whenever we get there. I'm rushing ahead of spoiling it for you. And there you can see I'm just undercutting the hair again, making it stick out, bringing the barrel of the mouth more round. The higher up you make your smile lines, where I'm cutting right there, the more smile you can give them because it'll raise your cheeks up. So that's just a little information for you. The higher you bring the corners of the mouth up, which is where your cheeks would be, then it gives them a bigger smile. And if you're doing eyes, you can squint your eyes a little bit more than you would normally. Because when you're really smiling, your cheeks go up and it squints your eyes. Something I need to get some more practice on. Been watching Sticks and Stones, wood carving, Kevin. He's been doing some stuff. Put out a couple videos. Go, Kevin, go. Go, Kevin, go. So, yeah, the problem with long voiceovers is I run out of things to say. So then I'll have to go get smart after a couple minutes. The next day or something, I can come back and finish it. Okay, so now we're cutting in the arms right here. Going in deep in each of the corners there by the elbow to make them pop out. And then we're dragging it forward so that, like your hand is in your pocket, because that's what we got going on here. We're going to put hands in pockets here, right there. And then we'll dig this whole thing out like that. Probably going to send this guy to Jordy up at Carving Fusion when he's done. Got to get him painted. I got quite a few carvings sitting around here that should be getting painted. Maybe that's next. Maybe that's tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see. I know my paint videos never do any good, so I really don't show them anymore. The painting process, finishing process of these guys. Well, for me, it's always the same thing. After I get done carving them, they get the flapper wheel to get rid of most of the fuzzies. I might take my little propane torch and do a little burning on them and then flapper wheel them. Because I found out if I just take my little propane torch and don't burn it, just kind of brush it over it, and you'll see the little fuzzies burn off, and then you can take your flapper wheel with the, I use the 3M, what is that called? It's right on the tip of my tongue. It's like a scouring pad on a flapper wheel, flapper sander. And it just brushes all the burnt ash from the propane torch off. So I don't just use the propane torch to burn. Sometimes I just I try using it to defuzz. Just burn the fuzz off of them. That seems to work best for me if I get some really fuzzy wood. And even after I've cleaned it up with my knife, I still got like little wood splinters trapped, I can run over it with that little torch and clean it up. It just burns the fuzzies off of it, and then I can hit it with the Scotch-Brite. That's what it's called. And that will clean it up. Then I can Mod Podge it or linseed oil it, or however you want to finish your carving. I Mod Podge it before paint, and even if I don't paint it, I Mod Podge it to seal it. So whatever moisture content is in the wood, it stays in the wood, doesn't want to crack. And the Mod Podge, like I said, seals it, so from sitting around you get dust on them. You can just take a paintbrush and clean it off, clean the dust off like a feather duster type thing. So, yep, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to end up having to Mod Podge this guy after I get him carved and all that stuff like that there. Taking the points off, setting the, giving him a belly there under the hands. So I got enough room for my pockets. You can see two lines at the bottom of the carving. The top line, or the one closest to the knife, is for the depth of the shoes. That's going to be the shoes. And then that line under it, I'm not going to carve at all. That's just going to be the base. Because I got all these little guys sitting around here, and when I carve them down to their feet, I have a hard time keeping them. If I'm going to put them someplace like on moss or something like that, they don't want to stand. So I'm going to leave these little stands underneath them. And someday when I get enough of these little gnomes carved, we can give them a red shield or a white shield and a black shield and turn them into chest pieces. Little chest gnomes. Man, that would take forever. I don't even know how many pieces there are on a chessboard. I'd have to look it up. But then you'd have to make knights and rooks and kings. Well, it'd be kind of fun making a king and a queen, and then a rook and a pawn. Because you could have your pawns as like your just your little gnome guys, and then you could have your rooks like wizards, and then you could have your king and a queen as your king and a queen. And then you got the horsey things. I think those are rooks, aren't they? Oh, bishops. I'm thinking of bishops. Okay, the bishops could be wizards. So I think there's only two of them. The pawn is your main guys. I don't know how many of them there are, but there's a few of them. And then you have to double that because you need pawns for both sides. Why are you babbling about chessboards, Rob? I don't know. I got nothing else to talk about. Ridiculous stuff like chessboards. And sometimes you just get off on a little bit of a rant, and there you go. Rant. Get off on a chessboard extravaganza. All right, so I'm going to just knock these corners off my base here. I don't want a square bottom on it. I mean, you could have a square bottom on it. I just don't want a square bottom. All right, so working on getting the legs cut in here. Like that. And making that old belly poop puff right out there. Now you can see I'm taking my knife and I'm sliding and rolling it. Slide it forward, roll it. Slide it forward, roll it. And I'm cutting in the bottom of the jacket right there. See, slide, roll, slide, roll, slide, roll. And that gives me my the base of my jacket. Now, when I cut in, I'm cutting in an upward angle, slightly upward and sliding to give it the shadow under the jacket. So it kind of separates the jacket from the legs. And that's why you see me doing that upward cut with a slide and a roll thing. It just creates that little bit of shadow under the jacket line. And then we can roll it in. Got a lot of new things we're going to try out. Now you can see I'm cutting in where the shoes are going to be. Just do a little slide push and then bring it down. Slide push, bring it down. Now we're going to separate the legs in the front, and we're going to separate the legs in the back, but we're going to leave them on the platform. Now you can see I'm cutting a little bit of an angle here and at the bottom. That's so when I slide that knife down, the chip pops out for me. If I don't do that, it'll be hung up there. Now we're going to go ahead and cut a little V-notch in there at the shoes, and I'm going to drag that line straight across and come in from side to side, take that chip out, just like that. And then we'll work on the shoes more. I notice this shoe here is a little bit bigger, so I'm going to go back and chop it down a little bit. Okay, so we did that. We're working on getting the toes of the shoes worked in there on both sides. And then we'll just come back and round it over. Now we're going to cut the back side in. Same thing. 2 straight lines on the bottom and slightly angled up at the butt. Scoop them out of there. Just do a little swoop cut there, right down to where we made our chip cut in, or our straight dead stop cut in. And there you go. Now we'll take out the backs. Get that little V cut in the back there. Pop that chip out. And then we'll round over the shoes and do the beard and this guy, the hairs, and this guy will be done. All right, so I'm cutting the corners of make that upper mustache really stick out in the corners there. Get that all cleaned up. And now we're going to go at it with this little V tool, the little Ramelson V tool here. A little tiny V tool, or Vayner V tool, whatever you want to call it. And I'm just walking it around, putting the hairs in. And then I'll come back with a knife and put some little deeper marks in, just to give it a little bit of depth here and there. I mean, these guys are so tiny, you really don't have to. And this is where I mess up my mustache. Cutting the little V notches out to separate the hairs around the mouth. I always think that looks pretty cool. But then tragedy happens right here. Boop! Pop the big old chunk right out of there. Should never brought that V tool into the situation. But you're like, Rob, you just ruined it. You just ruined it. No, I didn't. What we'll do is we'll go back in and recut the bottom of that mustache back in. Ain't nothing but a thing. Ain't nothing but a chicken wing thing. A wing ding thing. And then I can go back and recut it. Knock the chips off it with the wire brush. Now you can see right here I decided, okay, let's put a lip in there. We got to drive that that part of the face back a little bit further to make up for our boo-boo on the mustache. So I'm just going to go around there and just straight down. And then like a 45 up. And you can see we're taking that wood right out of there. And you'll see a lip developing. Poof, like that. Now he's got a lip. And then you can run your blade in between underneath the mustache and flat at the lip. And it will create his mouth to be just a little bit open. So then it separates the lower lip from the mustache. And I noticed I had to take a little bit more off each side of the face there. And now we're cutting the hair in up underneath the hat. I think we're coming to the end. Okay. Do a little, I chipped this collar when I was doing the V-tool thing for the hair. So we had to go back and bring his collar down a little bit. No big thing. Ain't nothing but a thing, chicken wing. That's the saying there. It ain't nothing but a thing, chicken wing. I got it. Okay, so let's, thanks for watching. Share, subscribe, and like. We'll give it a signature and the number 25 for the 2025. Stay safe and just